Hi guys, this is just a quick video for all of those independent filmmakers out there who are becoming increasingly worried by the increasing resolutions in films that are being released around the world. The Hobbit, for example, was released and it has a whopping 5K resolution, which is insane. And that was filmed on a Red Epic, I believe. We're going to downgrade a little bit and go into the independent market cameras, that sort of thing, such as the Blackmagic Cinema camera, which films in 2.5K, and the Blackmagic Production camera, which films in 4K. Now, these resolutions are really good. You're going to get brilliant picture quality, all that sort of thing. However, it's going to be recorded to a solid state drive, and it's going to take ages and ages and ages to edit it because you've got so much in terms of space that's being eaten up by the footage which you're shooting. And if you're shooting raw, you're getting an insane amount of quality, I must admit. But it's not exactly what you need in films. In fact, you can use a camera very much like my Lumix 5G here to shoot a feature film. And I'll tell you why. Look at The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, a film filmed in 2008. It's beautiful in terms of cinematic quality, and the camera which was used to film that, which is the Thomson Grass Valley Viper Film Stream camera, that shoots in 1080p, which is pretty much what everyone in the independent film industry already uses. Now, that is quite a bit better than my AF100, although I can shoot in slower frame rates with 60 frames per second in maximum quality. And the Thomson actually has to go down to 720p to shoot with 60 frames per second. There are notable differences between the cameras, but overall the Thomson comes out on top. So it's a much better camera than the AF100 or AF101, which is the one which I've got. There's not really any difference between those, it's just a name thing. Anyway, the reason I went with the AF100 or AF101 is because I have tons and tons and tons of micro four thirds lenses. And I thought, well, I might as well get a damn decent camera that I can use the lenses I already have with. And so that's why I chose the AF101. But when I found out that The Curious Case of Benjamin Button was filmed in 1080p, it suddenly struck me, I don't need to ever go to 2.5K, because this is a film that's been shown in cinemas and it's of perfect quality for that sort of thing. And it's been shot very nicely. And people who are complaining about the sensor size in this the AF100, when you're dealing with a Thomson Viper film stream camera, you've got a 2/3 sensor in there, and you know, that's a lot smaller than the sensor which I've got in this. So technically, I can film a really good film with this camera. Okay, and eventually I'm hoping to do so. The point is that a lot of the time I found that in my searches and in my struggle to find better and better cameras and equipment, I've missed out on the main problem which I have, and that is that I always tried to get the best in the past in terms of the biggest, the most powerful sort of lenses. For example, at the moment I've got this beautiful SLR Magic Hyper Prime lens. I've got a little Cinemorph filter on it. It looks absolutely stunning. At the moment I'm filming myself on a cheap lens which costs no more than 10 quid on eBay, and I've still got brilliant quality from it, you know, and I can shoot in low light with that lens because it's, you know, a f1.8, you know, it's a low f-stop lens. Beautiful prime, 50mm, exactly the same. The only difference is the 0.95 on the SLR Magic lens, which makes it a lot better for shooting in the really dark areas of the streets. But the main aim for that was to eliminate noise, but I'm kind of getting out of the way of the subject here. Basically what I'm trying to say is that you don't need the highest quality of film resolution possible. In fact, in many ways it can hamper you because you need so much more equipment, you need loads and loads of extra external hard drives to keep the footage on. One of my friends was filming something on a Red Epic a while back. It's called Grim: A Tale of Death. It's a web series. Looks absolutely stunning, but he's spent so much money on external hard drives to store all of the footage on. This camera, which I've got at the moment, is operating entirely off of SD cards. You know, it doesn't require anything other than a standard SD card, and you can still film a brilliant film on this camera. You know, A Bad Day was filmed, which is filmed by Ian David Diaz. It came out in Britain. Not entirely sure which camera it was filmed on. It was an old Panasonic camera, which is a slightly lower quality than this. And yet they got a beautiful cinematic looking film out of that. And that was all filmed on a cheapish camera. So when you're thinking about investing in something which is absolutely massive, try and think, wait a minute, can the computer which I'm working with actually handle 5K or 4K or 2.5K? The answer is probably yes. But you're going to have to reduce quality a lot when you're playing the footage back to yourself, unless you're investing something like 12 to 16K in a computer on top of that, and that's just crazy. The thing is, if you've got the money, it's always best to go for the best resolution you can get your grubby hands on. But if you're like me and you don't, and you just got a cheap Alienware laptop that's in the 2 to 3 grand range, it's sometimes best to just go for something rather simple like the AF100 or even a Lumix camera like this. Also, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera is really, really good quality. That's 1080p and it will film absolutely beautiful images. 13 stops of dynamic range, and you can get that for about £600 to £700, probably less now. Heck, if you're watching this video in a couple of years' time, there's probably even better cameras out there now, you know. But don't get bogged down with what kind of resolution you're going to look for rather. Just get a camera like, for example, the Lumix 5G, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, anything, you know, Canon, you know, 650D. Get a single camera that shoots 1080p and start practicing. Learn what you can do with lighting to make the scenes look better. Because when you actually look at it, if you're going to be shooting something in, say, for example, 4K to 5K resolution, your actors are going to have to be bang on perfect. Every little eye movement's going to have to be accounted for. Everything is going to be so much more in terms of detail. You're going to have so much more detail in the background, that sort of thing. So really, really think. If you're going for a better camera quality, you're going to have to have better quality sets, you're going to have better quality everything. You're going to upgrade your budget, and for what? Yes, the film will look slightly more brilliant and slightly more crisp and fresh, but on the other hand, you'll have to spend a lot more money to do that. And in reality, you don't need to spend that money. So maybe think about what I'm saying here before immediately going out and buying the best that you can possibly get, which is probably quite expensive and will probably lead to much more costs in the future. Get something which is tried and tested and will work, and, you know, go from there. Anyway, I've rambled far too long for this video. I hope it's been helpful to some of you. If you like the video, you know, rate it, leave a comment, that sort of thing. I'm always interested in hearing what people have to say about things. You know, maybe make a video response. It'd be nice to have a back and forth between someone who's making films. But, you know, there's lots and lots of things that you can do with cameras, you know. Wow, I made everything yellow using a yellow disc. Wow. Anyway, take care, have a lovely day, and you know, if you haven't, maybe subscribe. You know, have some fun. It's all good. Anyway, see you.